Alright guys, TacticalRab again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Lots of reaction from the pro players over the last couple of days to the fact that the covert sneakers, the ninja perk, the dead silence perk in this new game Modern Warfare 3 actually works as is intended. Completely silent, no noise at all. Even if loudness equalization is on, you can't hear someone running around with this. The question is that Pred has been finding out as well, who is this going to benefit the most? Players like Pred that are required to make the impact in search and destroy, at least for his previous teams, they can be arguably way more impactful with dead silent as effective as it currently is. What do you guys think this is going to change about the new title? Which players are going to benefit the most? Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I greatly appreciate it. Priestahh did go on to clutch this 1v1 as well after hitting some very nice shots, it's got to be said, earlier on in that round. Quickly on Doug, I know he was calling out some cheaters again. He's back at it again. This was pretty interesting though, that he sent this message to somebody back in February saying Jimbo is very sus. Now we know full well that Jimbo eventually got banned for cheating. And as he says, Jimbo very sus. I've defended him too. I want to keep to myself, but, you know, he's sus, ... He's not sus, bro. In every match we play, he monitor cams. So we don't know who this is. Teammate, coach of Jimbo at the time. I guess if you want to do some digging, you might be able to figure it out. Think, oh, okay, how long is this name words? You know, how many letters? But yeah, as he says, I've defended him. I won't talk about it, but you are teammate. Okay, so teammate with a super sus guy. You're an idiot, bro. He's not cheating. You won't change my mind. Out of respect for you, I won't talk about it. But, you know, now the DMs have been leaked publicly, not with, you know, we don't know who it is, but, you know, you could maybe guess. So as Doug says, you know, this is why I'll publicly call out cheaters. He was the direct reason we didn't make champs, which is true because, you know, he did well in the challenge qualifiers and stuff where it's probably cheating. Boston Academy didn't make it. Really difficult to try and overturn those situations, figure out what to do. He cheated against us in scrims, cup finals, even on LAN. We don't really know if he actually cheated on LAN, but, you know, whatever. He cheated at some points, that is known. Stealing opportunities and players, it's shameless. I won't stand for it. Doug taking a stand. And then he actually goes on to say this. So this guy, Kodo, says, shows Doug basically finds himself in a 1v1 against this guy, Kodo. Doug then loses the 1v1. And, you know, so Kodo is just kind of roasting him for it. And Doug reckons that this guy is straight up cheating. One of the many cheaters that I play in ranked play. And apparently, like, he's gone so far to make serious threats and stuff. And talking about how things they do shouldn't even be legal. So, yeah, I don't know. No rules. Everyone's looking for a shortcut to success. The thing is, right, with Doug, is that you don't really know. Like, this guy, Kodo, is he hacking? I don't know. I haven't seen any clips that imply that he is. But at the same time, you do sometimes see it where players say, oh, no, I'm not cheating. I'm totally legit. Turns out there is something dodgy going on. And it's not like it's a massive challenge, it seems, to hack in the beta right now, which is unfortunate. And then, well, this guy says, I don't know what I've read, how is this guy cheating? I'm never wrong, just early. It'll make sense later. So I guess we'll see on that one. Doug reckons this guy's hacking. Maybe it's the same thing with Jimbo, where in 8 months' time, all of a sudden he's going to get revealed to be a hacker, which maybe is going to happen, maybe it's not. Or maybe Doug just thinks that, you know, because he called out Jimbo correctly, he now just has this sixth sense for knowing if people are cheating or not. And maybe that's true, maybe that's not. There was also this talk from Hitch about the movement in MW3. I know there's been a lot of controversy on this, and the pros, I think they would generally be in favor of removing the slide delay, but it seems they're somewhat split on the discussion as well. I haven't really seen a clear consensus either way from the pros and what they think about this. Hitch, though, says that he actually likes the movement in MW3 right now with this slide delay. So after you slide, it's about 200 milliseconds before you can start sprinting again. They reduced it slightly, but it has caused some controversy because maybe it feels a little bit clunky. But as Hitch says, like, the pace is already insane. If you remove that slide delay, the pace gets even crazier. The pace right now will be great once the spawns are adjusted. So, don't know what you guys think about this. It may or may not be true. And, of course, he's saying once the spawns get adjusted, saying that, well, optimistic that indeed they will and can be adjusted. I think that they will be. We don't really know when or exactly what Centrum are trying to cook up to make the spawns work, because right now they're definitely not particularly good. But yeah, I guess once the spawns are adjusted, the pace will be good. At least that's Hitch's opinion, and he doesn't want the movement changed. I don't really mind so much either way, but I'm sure the pros have their own opinions on it. Now, so far in this game, most of the players you'd expect to look really good are looking really good. Now, it's mainly public matches here, really. I know they've played some tournaments between actual players, but usually it's pubs. Then again, I think, you know, pubs you can look a little bit more at. I know it's pubs, so like we're not going to go crazy and say, oh, this player's insane because he's shooting well in pubs. But at the end of the day, skill-based matchmaking is a thing in these games nowadays, right? And can be pretty smooth. It's not like the pros are reverse boosting. I've seen some guys, you know, they'll get in, they'll just reverse boost in these lobbies to get themselves easy lobbies in the beta, which is like, come on, I guess you're doing it for content. The pros obviously aren't doing that. So, you know, the lobbies they're in, they are playing people who can shoot back. So, you know, it makes some of the things you see pretty impressive here. And, well, Cellium was hitting some nice shots. Dashy was hitting some pretty insane shots, actually, as well. I'll share a couple of these on screen for you guys. I wish the game didn't look as depressing as this. I know that people are talking about Skid Row being an actual viable map for hardpoint, possibly in this game. And I do semi-agree with kind of what I've seen on this so far. Favela was a fun pub map back in the day, but it was never a good map. Nor was, I mean, everyone knows Estate was always terrible. I know a lot of people are playing these maps now thinking, these maps are trash. And, I mean, I kind of get it, right? Like, these maps weren't good necessarily back in 2009. And when you see maps like Wasteland and maps like Afghan and, you know, people are going to be like, what were they cooking back then? Why are these maps held in such high regard? And I get it, but, you know, it wasn't made with competitive in mind, and it's not like these maps were good for competitive back then necessarily. So the pros will need to do some work to figure out what they're going to do instead, and quite possibly Skid Row could find its way in. It's definitely plausible. That, you know, this was a particularly nice kill, actually, that Dashy got here when he charles this guy, hits a nice little jump to the left-hand side. But also, Pred was playing this game, and we saw Pred was cooking the other day. He actually dropped 125 here on Rust. I don't think this is the records. I think someone's dropped, like, in the 140s. But, still, given the fact that this will not be... He's not reverse boosted, right? This is a pretty legitimate lobby with decent players. Drop 125 in a relatively close game is pretty impressive. But he also was finding out, playing some Skid Row Search and Destroy, about just how good the Dead Silence is in this game. Okay, we've had the Dead Silence field upgrade in previous games, but you don't always have it. It's difficult to know when to use it. And a lot of the time, if you are running around, you're just going to be heard. But Pred plays some Search and Destroy and is absolutely smoking these kids. Largely because they can't hear him. I imagine a few of these guys, if they had their headset cranked, which a few of them might well have done, they probably would have heard him, they might have pre-aimed, they might have killed him. That's not the case with Dead Silence in action, and Pred is looking really excited about what this means for his particular playstyle going forwards.
Wait, the Dead Silence is actually so good. Like, I can't even hear myself at all. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Where is this guy? He's licking it back here. Oh shit.
I just got to lose it.
Oh my god. Damn! Damn! That's a little bit of a piss on.
So it's been a massive talking point ever since Infinity Ward decided to just kind of ruin it. I mean, they've got this whole hype video as well for the covert sneakers that, you know, just make you completely 100% silent. Now, to be honest, I think you should be 100% silent anyway if you are, let's say you're crouching and moving around, or let's say you're walking slowly. I think, like, anything you wear should be fully silent, to be honest. But at least these covert sneakers are... They made it so that it's 0% footstep volume. As far as we can tell, it's 0% or so close to 0 that it's negligible on this footstep volume. Basically the same as what it was back in COD Ghost with Dead Silence when it was fully silent, and that was just spectacular for competitive play, especially in Search and Destroy. Parasite, of course, also did the research, and he found out that, yeah, even if you put loudness equalization on, you can't hear the footsteps. It's not possible. And this does raise a massive question as to, well, who does this help in Search and Destroy? I think, first of all, it helps everyone. Everybody wins. They, you know, much more enjoyable to play, I think, in these scenarios where you don't have to worry about getting hurt all the time. But some players that are particularly good at Search and Destroy, it might make even better. There's a question, I guess, because the players that I'm mainly looking at here to get better, because of the way they play in Search and Destroy, were actually already insane last year. So I wonder if it helps players like Shotzzy more when, you know, because I think at times Shotzzy, especially on LAN, his plays online, his online Search and Destroy Shotzzy is really good. His LAN Search and Destroy this year was underwhelming, and I think part of that is because his playstyle you know, just running and taking some chals and trying to find gaps doesn't tend to work as well on that when players slow down. Maybe a part of it is getting hurt as well, which is probably a factor, but maybe just general LAN playstyle is more of a factor in play there. What I'm more interested in, though, is the players that are getting the entries. They're getting the first bloods, they're finding the gaps. Those are the players that struggle with no dead silence. Now, they're still insane. And this is to the massive credit to Pred and aBeZy. The fact that they, like, Pred was, you've got to realize, the absolute do-it-all in their search and destroy last year. Like, he was getting the first bloods, he was getting the kills, and he was clutching the rounds. Like, it was insane how good Pred was in search this last season. And he was doing this stuff without largely dead silence in play. Okay, you got the field upgrades, but a lot of the time he was still audible. And even we can see first bloods per round, this is your list. So you've got a Seam at number 5, Drazah number 4, aBeZy was number 1 by a mile, because he always is in this category, Pred, and then Shotzzy as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see OpTic with Pred and Shotzzy, because Pred was the do-it-all entry clutch guy for Seattle. You know, theoretically, OpTic Search and Destroy should be better, but I wonder how Pred and Shotzzy will do this, because Shotzzy was the entry guy for OpTic last year, Pred was the entry guy for Surge last year. They both did a good job in getting first bloods per rounds, but Pred would just manage to stay alive longer and had a ridiculous 1.3 KT over the season. aBeZy as well with a 1.28. Like, these are the guys that are going to be borderline unstoppable this season, right? Think about aBeZy, how good he is at finding gaps, getting first bloods, and still getting almost a 1.3. And now he's got dead silence all the time on top of that to make routes and to hit flanks and stuff. It's going to be incredibly tough to stop some of these guys. And I think Pred there was probably running around thinking, damn, I am going to fry kids on this game because the stars are aligning. But yeah, I just wonder how it's going to work, because again, players in Shotzzy's style that are trying to find gaps and, you know, take routes and get first bloods and stuff, they are players that should be benefited from permanent dead silence. But then again, Pred was also kind of doing that for Surge. I wonder how they're going to play it, because like FaZe, the best search and destroy team last year, they didn't have both Simp and aBeZy doing that. They just had aBeZy do it. And I know that aBeZy is built different at doing that type of role, but you know, maybe there's something to be said about OpTic have to think about how their search and destroy is going to be structured, because otherwise, you know, they can't really have both Pred and Shotzzy doing the same route at the same time, which is kind of what they were trying to do last year on separate teams. So very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
We have some type of map. Yeah, I don't know what this is besides the Atlantic Ocean, obviously, and yeah.
You don't know what any of those are? The Black Sea? You never heard of the Black Sea?
Nope. I mean, probably. What is that?
It's a sea. I don't know. It's a
The shit goes crazy?
Shit goes crazy, you said? I mean, it's a sea.
Shit
Have you ever heard of the Mediterranean Sea?
No. Wait, I think it's one of the seas, right, or some shit?
Yeah, it's one of the seas. Yeah. You gotta stop
you
talking.
are right.
What? Wait, how many seas are there? Or like, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know how many seas there are in the world. I don't know.
Like
How many oceans are there?
Yeah. That's what I meant. How many oceans are there?
Take a guess.
All right, go.
Take a guess.
You guess.
You guess first.
Guess first.
Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean?
Yeah.
Atlantic, Pacific.
That's all you know?
Oceanic? Or no?
Ocean. Wait, no, that sounds right.